Hi there, everybody. This is Brian C. from Menace Live TV, and happy holidays, everyone. Of course, I'm dressed up for the occasion, all ready for the big day where the guy in the red suit shows up and brings presents. We hope, anyways. So yeah, we have a great show here. This is a year in review show. Let me bring up my little slideshow here. There we are. Yeah, so this is the holiday edition of the Nova Scotia Show Year in Review. Yeah, and I have a great guest here to help me out with this show here. I'm going to bring him in right now, Ken Hubley.
Hi,
There he
everyone.
is.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, he's going to help me get through this and survive the show as best as possible. I'm going to talk about a few things, go through what we put together this year, and I think it's been quite an amazing year for Menace Live TV.
Been a great year.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so, well, let's, I suppose we'll get into it. I've got a little presentation here. Let me change the screen. There we go. Holiday Edition, Year in Review. Let's get into it. So there we go. A brief look at what we produced in 2022. Jump in your DeLoreans, hit 88 miles an hour, because we're going to get into it. Well, the first thing I wanted to talk about that we had a great time was the North Shore tour. Of course, the boss and me, we spent 4 days up in the North Shore and had a great time. And as we were there, I recorded a lot of the different places we were at and just did little segments. Turns out we got 10 segments out of that for this North Shore tour 2022. Get my tongue in gear here. Yep, presenting Nova Scotia to the world. And this is a promotional tourism segment. We're willing to travel all around the province and do little segments like this. Just saying, just letting you know. Okay, so part one was the chalets, the Ocean Sunset Chalets. They're a lovely spot there. Have you ever been there, Ken, to the North Shore and these
No,
chalets?
it's a nice place. I'd like to go sometime. They look really comfortable and cozy.
They were, yeah. Just check out the video because I do a little walkthrough on one, yeah.
Yeah. I
So
watched your show and your video on it, and they do look really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they're really clean. They're quite modern and recently refreshed, I think, is a good way to put it. So no, we really like them. You know, shower tub, the whole thing in the bathroom, and a little kitchenette. And so the first morning we went out and got some breakfast at the Country Breadbasket Bakery and Coffee Shop, which is not far away, just down the Brule Point a little ways. So that was part two. Had a nice little breakfast there.
Nothing better than a nice bakery and coffee shop.
Oh, the smells were insane.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, loved it. So that's a great spot. And I did get some, just to go back to that, I just did get some drone footage from right up the shore, the tip of the Brule Point there. I went right up there and got some really cool drone footage, which is in that segment. So something you might want to watch for. Okay, so like I said, our chalets had a little kitchenette, so we needed to pick up some supplies. So we went back to Tanamagush and did a little shopping.
What a beautiful little community that is.
What's that?
What a beautiful community that is.
Oh, it is. Like that whole North Shore is just a gorgeous spot. Yeah, and the people are really nice and friendly. And so then we went back to River John and visited the Caldera Distillery. Just an amazing place. They welcomed us with open arms and gave us a great little tour inside the building where they actually make and bottle the different beverages. Of course, we had some samples. So that was part 4. Highly recommend you stop there. Part 5, we just did a little stop at the pork shop and then back at River John, where I did get some really amazing drone footage in River John that I think you'll like if you watch it. Have you ever been to the pork shop?
I have not, no. But just mentioning your videos, I think my favorite part were the shots from the drone. I mean, they were all good, but I really liked seeing that high level view.
Yeah, me too. And I know a lot of the viewers out there, they like seeing those drone shots. That's why I include them. And I think it's a really nice element to add, to tell people about a place and then get some of those aerial shots.
Exactly.
So back part 6, yeah, of course, so we needed to have lunch, of course. So we went back to Tanamagush and had some fish chowder and a few other things. And I got some more aerial shots of the bridge. It's a beautiful old train bridge that they've made into a trail now. And that's right at the start of not River John, Tatamagouche. Yeah. So check that out if you're ever up the area. Let's see. Part 7 was the Sutherland Steam Mill. That's in a lovely spot. Actually, just down the road from the pork shop. This is all in fairly close proximity. And the Balmoral Grist Mill. I got the wording right on that. The Balmoral Grist Mill, and I got some really interesting drone shots there. I flew right beside it, and there's a little bit of a waterfall underneath that walkway you can see.
Sounds like things are conveniently located, and you could do a lot in a couple of days.
Yes, you could. And a friend of mine, we used to go to River John quite a bit when I was younger. A friend of mine had a cottage there, so I was fairly familiar with the area, and I've been to some of these places before. So, yeah, so I did have a little inside information as to where to go.
That always helps.
Yeah. And Tatamagouche, I have to say, has changed a whole lot since those days. I mean, that's probably a few years ago. And one of the places that are new is the Tatamagouche Brewing Company. Highly recommended. And if those who were very observant, this should be part 9. The Tatamagouche Brewing Company was part 9. My mistake there. But definitely a place you should check out if you're in Tatamagouche. And of course, the last but not least by any means is the Tatamagouche Farmers Market. That is the most amazing farmers market I've been to. I admit I haven't been to too many, but that one was incredible. Have you ever been to that one, Ken?
I've never been to that one. What was it that you found made it amazing? What did you like?
Well, there's a lot there. There's a grain elevator area where they have shops and things. The grain elevator market, they call it, yeah. And the creamery museum is there, and then there was another ice cream place. There was so much there. I actually didn't get to cover everything I wanted to, but the video would have been way too long. So there's so much there.
I've driven through there on my way to Malagash, and sadly I hadn't stopped and taken part of some of this stuff. There's so many beautiful places and areas in Nova Scotia that it's really worth your while sometimes to take that few extra minutes and just stop and visit some of these places.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought these to us, Brian.
Oh, my pleasure. It was fun doing it and visiting these places and, just doing what we do. So moving along from the North Shore Tour, we're going to move on to the Nova Scotiable Show, which this is the Nova Scotiable Show you're watching right now. But this year we did, I shouldn't say did, we produced episodes 22 to 31. Episode 22 featured my buddy Dave Carroll from United Breaks Guitars fame, and Johnny Harris. And he's quite the busy CBC actor right now. Murdoch Mysteries is one of the things, and he also produced, this interview was about a show he's renewing on CBC called Still Standing, and he did 2 Nova Scotia dates, or locations I should say, on that show. There we go. Anybody a Murdoch Mystery fan out there? You'll know Johnny Harris if you are.
He's from Atlantic, Canada, I believe, isn't he?
He's from Newfoundland. Yeah.
Local connection.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. No, he's a great fellow. I really enjoyed talking to him. And that brings us to episode 23 with Karen Myatt. What an amazing, amazing lady. And she's so talented. She was releasing her new album, Femoir. And I couldn't be more happy to have talked to her about that and had her on the show. Episode 24, Kathy France from the Caravan Theatre was on and told us about some shows they were having. Then we have the Angels, Advocates for Angels in Motion Society. They were on talking about their fundraisers up in Wolfville. And the boys from Callahan, the band Callahan, were on. They had just released a Boxing Rock music video, and they were on to talk about that. Have you seen that music video, the Boxing Rock one?
I haven't seen it yet, no.
You should check it out. It's really good. They did a really good job on it.
Awesome.
And then I had episode 26 was a conversation with Paula Huntley, who was doing the Business and Women event up in Annapolis Valley, and Tyler Cox from Mahogany Hollow. I believe they were just releasing a new album, so very talented musicians there. And speaking of talented musicians, he was going to try to join us tonight, but he couldn't do that, unfortunately. So, but Thane Dunn, yeah, my one of the world's top renowned Elvis. I hate the word impersonator. He doesn't like it either. He's an impersonator. He presents an Elvis persona, but he says, "I'm still Thane Dunn, but you're getting the Elvis experience." So,
Yeah.
so very talented. And along with Mel Dunn, his wife, who is the Rhinestone Cowgirl. I haven't had her on the show yet, but she's on my hit list. She is amazingly talented.
Cool. So much talent in locally. We're so lucky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Thane and Mel are from Moncton, I think. They're in New Brunswick, but that's close enough. And they do a lot of tour dates here in Nova Scotia. So, Amanda Kirkpatrick, a friend of mine from up in the Annapolis Valley, who is now in Newfoundland. She did move to Newfoundland, but she represented Nova Scotia in the Miss North America pageant, or she represented the Atlantic Provinces. Let's get my wording right. Yeah, it was the Atlantic Provinces in the Miss North America pageant. And she was a second runner-up this year, and I believe she won it the last time they had it before COVID hit and shut it down for a couple of years.
Oh, good for her.
Another talented person. And 29, just recently we had Caravan Theatre back on. They had the Comedy Caravan, where the skits hit the fans. That was a great show. They talked a little bit about that, and we held the whole cast on. Whole cast of familiar faces. And episode 30, you're watching it. The holiday special year in review. Threw that in there. There we go. All right. Do you have a favorite Nova Scotiable episode?
I think Thane Dunn would have been. They're all good. There's a lot, and what I like about them is they're all unique. You know, I enjoyed watching the North Shore tours. Many interesting guests, but I think the Thane Dunn Scotiable show was the one that I really liked.
Yeah. So what happens right now with the Nova Scotiable show is when somebody says, hey, I got something to talk about, we'll put together a show. And you might have noticed that some of the shows have two people. If I go back here a little bit, those are two episodes that had two people on. The goal with the show is to eventually, when there's enough people with enough things to talk about, is to make it a weekly show. So we'll bring you the Nova Scotiable show once a week and have different guests on talking about what's happening all around Nova Scotia. So that's my goal, my mission. But I need you to help out with that. I can't do that alone.
Put a comment on the website or in the YouTube, Facebook page, and let Brian know if you're interested in being on the show, if you have a great topic.
That's right. What's happening? What's happening in Nova Scotia? We want to know. So do the viewers. All right, so Behind the Beer, we only did one episode this year. We're trying to drum up some support, and thanks to my buddy Bob, who came to Tusket Falls in Halifax, the Godigan Street Tap Room. We visited that and had a great time and sampled a few brews, and he told you a little bit about them. He is such an expert, a delicate palate when it comes to beer. He knows his hops and knows what he's talking about. So hopefully Bob and I will be able to get out and do a few more Behind the Beer episodes, because there's lots of changes happening in the industry. And if you're out there and you're a beer fanatic, fanatic might be the wrong word, but if you're a beer connoisseur and want to be on the show, let me know. We'd love to have you. I'm always looking for that community participation. So as far as events go, we cover events, and there's a variety of ways we do it, and a variety of different event things like trade show TV and parade TV. If you're having a local community parade, we'd love to live stream that. So call me. Call Santa, and we might be able to make that happen. My fake phone, you like that?
I do like that.
I didn't show anybody my tie yet. See, there's my tie, a little Santa tie.
You're styling it holiday style there, Brian.
That's right, holiday style. Yeah, so these are a number of the ways that we can go into an ENG style report. We can do live stream. We can record a little segment. We can do a remote segment. Yeah, so all that's possible. We can kind of do what radio does when they go live remotely from an event, but we do it on video. Yeah. So this year, we're at the Halifax Business Awards. That was awesome. We had a lot of fun there and talked to a lot of different business owners and created a few little segments from that. Then when I was at the Bay Expo, do a little segment there. Hags on the Hill. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're in Peggy's Cove. I think they've moved now. They're in a different location, but a great little artisan co-op that they have there. So we did a little segment on them.
I'm familiar with the older location, yes. And been to the new one yet.
I'm familiar with it too. Yeah. So yeah, they're in a little bit of a different location now, but that's great. I'm happy for them. Let's see. Next was the Lebanese festival, the Lebanese Cedar Festival, because there's 2 different Lebanese festivals in Halifax. At least I only know of 2. There might be more. So we visited that one. They were great. Great food. Lovely people. And when the Blue Nose did a sail-by of the lighthouse in Peggy's Cove, we managed to get some really good shots there. I managed to get the drone up in the air and get some really good drone shots. So, yeah, quite happy with that. That's what we call a vignette, just a little segment that really doesn't fit under any real category. It's just a little community supportive vignette. And I got down to paint Peggy's Cove. You'd think Peggy's Cove was close by, wouldn't you? I'm down there a lot. But I should mention that I am the community correspondent for the St. Margaret's Bay area, because that's where I live. That's my area. So I'm looking for community correspondents in other areas of the province to cover things in their areas. So that's why you'll see me at Peggy's Cove a lot, because it is close by. And
Peggy's Cove is such a beautiful area. We're so lucky to have it in our neighborhood.
Yeah, definitely. And it's getting busy again. Like the tourism is really picking up, which is good. It's good. Yeah. We took a little trip to Bridgewater and found the Abino Distillery. Great little spot, kind of hidden away, but we went in and they gave us a tour. They were absolutely fabulous, and we made a little vignette on that business and some of the things you can get there. Yeah. So check that out. And I'm talking about these things and showing you the graphics, but these things are all online. If you're interested in any one thing we've mentioned here on this show, go watch it. It's available. Who likes cars?
I do.
Cars. Yeah. Doesn't everybody? I like a car show is great camera fodder. I absolutely love going to car shows. And this was the St. Margaret's Bay Lions Club annual car show, again, in my neck of the woods. So as a community correspondent, I covered that. And the Lions do great work. So anytime I can promote the Lions and what they're doing, I'm on it. I also went to India Fest, and this is a great example of how going live an event works, because I went there Friday afternoon just as the event started and did live segments and talked to a few different people and tried to get the information out there about the festival, because it went all weekend. It went all the way through till Sunday, so we got the information out there right away. Now, VWs. There's a Carmen Gia. If you like that little red car up top there. Yeah, that's the Vintage VWs Club. Had their annual show and shine. Once again, up in Tantallon, close by my area anyways. And when I heard the Bayview High School football team was going to have their grand opening game with a coin toss and kickoff, well, I couldn't help but go to that. And that's what I filmed. I didn't film the whole game. I got to just let everybody know that. It's just the game opening, the coin toss, and the kickoff. So that's there. You can watch that.
I bet it was exciting. A lot of energy in the renamed school and the new team.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And if you watch that segment, you'll see that there was some funding that they got to rebrand and get some of the things they need. Some of the team paraphernalia, which is quite important. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the Spryfield. Listen, I got to say, Bruce Holland is out there in Spryfield with the Spryfield Business Commission doing amazing work. Hats off, Bruce. I think you're doing a wonderful job. And next time you're having a parade or something like that, let me know. And I think we can work well together. But this time I went to the annual Antique Classic Custom Car Show, which they have every year. And that is fantastic. I really enjoyed that. And the Rosa Rugosa, where I had heard about this new restaurant down in Hubbard, so we stopped by and had lunch, and it was absolutely lovely. That's another little vignette of a place you can check out yourself.
I will check that out. That sounds cool.
Yeah. It used to be an antique store, but they've taken it over and turned it into a restaurant. And there's still a lot of antiques and things there, so it's really quite eclectic.
Nice.
So definitely check it out. Then I went to the Novalee Farmers Market back in my old stomping grounds where I grew up, Novalee Drive. Yeah. So I thought that'd be interesting. There was some great music there, and it was getting further to the end of the year, but it was still great. There's still lots of great produce and products there to buy. And then I had to go feature my buddy Mark at the Tartan Coffee Company. Yeah, that was episode 2 of a show we called the East Coast Roast. And he has a mobile coffee espresso bar that he got a custom trailer made for. A really interesting story behind him, so I highly recommend you watching that segment. What else? I suppose that really wasn't an event. That was more of a business feature for Mark, but that's all right. I mentioned it anyways.
That's good.
I get some really good shots of the dingle, by the way, some drone shots. So that clip is full of lots of great drone shots of the dingle.
Awesome.
So over across the other side of the bay, or not the other side, but at the head of the bay, I went to the Unicorn's Purple Hike for Epilepsy, put on by Unicorn Theater. It was a fundraiser for epilepsy. And yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Really worthwhile event. That's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a great cause for sure. Yeah. And I wonder, where was I at then? The 11th Annual Prospect Road Crafters Market. Now, that was a big market. Took me a long time to actually walk through, and I went live from that. So that was a remote segment.
Craft market. I bet there was a lot of talent there.
Oh, yeah. The crafts are amazing. What these people make is beyond me. Yeah. Beyond my ability.
Exactly.
So, of course, when I heard there was an aircraft carrier in Halifax Harbor, I had to go down and check that out. That was the USS Gerald R. Ford, the world's largest aircraft carrier. Quite an amazing ship. So I did a little live segment from there. Best I could through the chain links in the fence to get my camera set up.
It was you get some good shots, and that was massive. Just a massive something to see.
Yeah. I would love to fly my drone there, but I don't know if you're allowed to fly a drone around an aircraft carrier. So I just want to shot down. So yeah, and then I went out to Flair Equine Experience, which is quite a neat place, really. They had a haunted barn and You Pick Pumpkin fundraiser, because what they do is they have it's horse therapy where you go and you spend time with the horses, and it's very relaxing. They're beautiful, majestic animals. So yeah, hats off to them. They're doing all kinds of stuff. You need to follow them on Facebook because she is so busy on everything she's doing. So great job, and keep up the good work. Then, of course, we went live from the Remembrance Day Ceremony at the St. Margaret's Bay Legion. Thanks again, Ken, for your help on that.
You're welcome. My pleasure. I was happy to be there. And thank you to all the veterans and the people who served today. You know, it was a very special ceremony. Mm-hmm. Both my grandfathers were in the services in the wars.
Mm-hmm. And I know one of mine was. I'm not sure about the other, but I know one was. Yeah. So let's see. Then I went to the incredible Christmas Craft Market. How can you not go to a Christmas craft market that's called the Incredible Christmas Craft Market?
Exactly.
You just have to go to that.
It's the season.
Yeah, so that was another great one. And that one was over at the Waverley Legion. That was a little out of my territory out in Waverley, but I thought it was definitely worth the drive out there to check it out. And, so if there's somebody in Waverley or around that area, Enfield, Waverley, that area, and wants to be a community correspondent, hey, I could use your help. Then there was a Christmas market at the Estabrooks Community Hall. That was another good one. That hall's kind of got two parts, two sides to it, and it was full everywhere, so lots of great stuff there. And, of course, the Five Bridges Junior High ARIS contact. So ARIS is the Amateur Radio International Space Station. And it's a broadcast where the students actually get to talk and ask questions to the International Space Station astronauts through the ham radio. Wow. So we broadcasted the actual event when the students were talking to the astronauts. We did that live. So that was quite a project.
That would be amazing. They were on the space station at the time, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Yeah, no, they're in orbit.
Absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm. There's so much to consider. They have to consider the height of the orbit because
Yeah.
that depends on how long they'll be able to talk. There's a certain window as the space station moves that was some kind of, it's like 20,000 miles an hour or something crazy. So it's moving pretty quick. So
Wow.
there's a limited window that they can talk to the astronauts. And yeah, it's relayed through a shortwave ham radio station somewhere. I think this one was in England. So anyhow, yeah, no, quite an interesting broadcast. So
What an experience for those students and the memory they'll always have.
that's right.
Yeah.
Definitely an educational theme there, and they do that quite often from schools everywhere, all over the North America. What do we have? Yeah, the Acadia Maple Products took a little stop there when they announced the release of their Glenavon whiskey. So we learned a little bit about that, and just even more recently, the St. Margaret's Bay Lions Club, back at the Lions Club. Like I said, I support them wholeheartedly. They are having their Christmas tree lot up at the St. Margaret's Center, which is a different location than it has been in other years. So I wanted everybody to know where they were at selling their trees this year, because the Lions do such great work for the community.
We're lucky to have them. Thank you, Lions.
And now, what's this show here? Parent Chats.
Seems familiar. First of all, Brian,
Does.
before we get into parent chat, I just want to thank you for bringing all these videos and activities to us, to the community. I've learned so much personally from your videos and from the shows. It's just what's happening across Nova Scotia. So I echo your comments. If anyone has any organization or any events that are happening, and if you can help Brian out by bringing them to us through video, that would be excellent. And how
Awesome.
do they
Thank you.
reach you, Brian?
What's that?
And how do they reach you?
Well, they reached me through the email, which I have on the website. There's actually, if you go to the NS Live TV website, and that is the website, nslive.tv, there's a contact me page that has all the emails. There's probably 4 of them, I think. So you use one of the emails, or I think my phone number's even there too, which is why I get so many junk calls.
Yeah.
I'll go back to that screen here.
So, into parent chats, this is something that is so important. I have written some children's books. I have parenting is really, really important to me. I've been doing parenting now for many years. I have a stepdaughter and 2 children, and so for over 20 years, I've been a parent and a step parent. And it's really important to me to help other parents. And through parent chats, we started out with uh, Zoom calls where we would just talk about parenting, and then Brian created that wonderful cartoon figure of me. That was a lot of fun, and then we had a cartoon show for a little bit. And then 2002, we decided to bring in guests that had some expertise in different areas of parenting, and we have been so lucky and thankful to these guests and to you, Brian, for bringing this to the channel. So we started out with the one of the first guests was Chief Jack Ritchie, who is he's a chief police officer in the United States, very involved in the policing in America, and he shared some wonderful stories about his career and how important it is to him and other officers to keep children safe, and some wonderful interactions he's had with the youth. And he really agrees with our philosophy that police officers are heroes for keeping us safe, but they're also our friends and neighbors. And it's good to have for parents to have conversations with their kids about police officers, and he's offered some tips in that. Natalie had a remarkable story. She's a working mom, uh, married with a family, and she did her university degree part time while doing her career, while raising her family. And she talked about the challenges and how the support of her family really helped, and what she did to find that work life balance and to be able to pursue her goals while having a very busy life. She's active in her community as well. So it's really a remarkable story. I would encourage you to watch any of these episodes because our guests just really give us their all.
Yeah, I don't know how she does it. Kids and a
Yeah,
career. She is one busy lady, and she really does
ex-
have an inspirational story.
exactly. Yeah, no, for sure. Dylan Claru. He's my trainer, and he's also a very very good trainer. He talked about the importance of exercise and health for both for parents and for children. And what I really took away from this episode from him is it's not being in the gym 2 hours a day. It's not doing over and over. It's starting. It's getting you doing better than you did the day before. And he said sometimes it's a walk, sometimes it's something small, sometimes it is going to the gym. But just a very well read, incredible individual that is really into fitness and really helpful.
Yeah, how to make workouts not seem like workouts.
Exactly. Yes, that was the key with him. And Chantal Valorant, remarkable lady, the executive director of Drug Free Canada Kids, Drug Free Kids Canada. Sorry, and she was really. I was shocked when I saw just how many resources and how much help there is for parents through this wonderful organization. And as she talked about it, they have webinars that come on, they have experts that come on, and she really answered some of the difficult questions I had about talking to your kids before um, they've experimented and also while they've experimented. And it was a really educational interview, I found.
It sure was. Yeah.
And Dr. Bruce Stick. This is a latest show. This is a huge, huge show. It's about mental health. He talks about social media in this show. He talks about tips. He talks about what you can do because there's such a lineup for healthcare right now and mental healthcare right now. What can you do in the meantime? You know, how can you support yourself? How can you support your child? And it's that interview blew me away literally because it was so informative. It was so he's so well spoken. I really recommend you to watch that show.
Hmm.
And if you do need help, you know, reach out, talk to someone. There's always people who care. There's always people that can put you into the right direction.
Yeah.
Mental wellness is the key today, and it's so important after we've gone through COVID. We're in a recession, different things that's going on. Parenting can be it's rewarding, but it can be very difficult. And self care is a key part of parenting, as well as looking after your child.
Yeah, no, I recommend everybody watch that one. You really have to watch it and listen to it. Really listen to it. It's a little longer show than what we have had in the past, but every bit of it is full of great information. He's quite amazing.
He is. He's very amazing individual, and you know, I've taken notes when I was watching it. After it aired, I watched it again, and you know, just took notes and really reflected on it. So, parent chats, we're going to be back in 2023. We're hoping to be provide more helpful guests to have shows. If there's any ideas that you have on topics that you would like us to discuss or to find guests for, please let us know. Put the comments in the chat. Contact Brian in the email on the website, and please, we're here to serve. We're parents serving parents
Hmm. That's
and
right, and
families.
we're part of the community, and a community channel can't really function without the support and involvement of the community. So that's why we're reaching out to you for your input and support and involvement. We really need that to make this channel work, and I think the Parent Chat show has come full circle to where it needs to be with these interviews and the guests that Ken's reaching out and finding is just amazing, and there's some really, really great information in those shows. So congratulations, Ken. Hats off to you. You've done a fabulous job on that show.
Thank you, Brian, and thank you for all your help and support. And thank you for everyone that's been viewing it. The views have gone up, and some people have interacted with me, and I really appreciate it. And thank you to each of our guests.
Yeah, you do the bulk of the work. I just make it look pretty. And I did reach out and ask for people to send in their well wishes for people, their holiday wishes. And the only reply I got was from Councillor Pam Lovelace from District 13. She wishes everyone peace, health, and happiness this holiday season. So thank you for that, Pam. And of course, the swag shop. In case you didn't know, NS Live TV now does have a swag shop. And I did want to point out, we had talked about the Irish broadcast from Five Bridges Junior High. I have made a mission patch, and you can now order a variety of products like shirts and mugs and things with that mission patch on it. So if you want a little memento of the time you talked to astronaut in the space station, you can get it at our swag shop. And the other graphic you see here is one that I have on shirts and mugs, and talks about NS Live TV, free community TV for Nova Scotia. Free to watch. We want you to be able to just click and watch. No subscriptions, no nothing. You just click and watch.
I have my shirt. They even go good with Santa hats, so
there you
can
go.
match anything.
Excellent. Yeah, so that's on the website. That's all on, once again, on nslive.tv. That's our name and website. I put this question out this last week. If we could produce anything at all in and about Nova Scotia, about Nova Scotians, what would you like to see? Let us know. Once again, we're reaching out to get input from you to know what direction we should take, and what we should be filming and what we should be aiming our cameras at. That's what we want to know. So we need your input on that. I did get some great responses on this, and I actually had one really great conversation, and we'll see what comes of that. Yeah, so thank you everyone who did respond to that question on Facebook. And as always, with everything we produce, please help us bring you more TV productions or free TV community productions by liking, following, sharing, watching, subscribing, all that good stuff. That really helps the channel grow. So we'd appreciate it if you take a moment to do that. And a little Star Wars holiday humor. I'm not your father, Luke. Yeah, just a little humor. Gotta have a little humor in there.
Oh, humor's good.
Humor's good for the soul. That's what they say anyway. So anyhow, that's about all we have for the holiday edition, year in review. We appreciate everybody watching. Thank you so much. And hopefully you'll share, like, and let everybody know about it, and give us your suggestions for the new year. Anything you want to add, Ken, before we close her out?
No, I just want to wish everyone a very happy and safe holiday season and have the best 2023 possible. And thank you for watching, and cheers.
Yep, same here. I'll ditto that. Yeah, we appreciate everybody out there. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Have a great holiday and happy New Year. And we'll catch you in 2023, if not sooner. All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye.